Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my blog. Welcome to another episode of 2Bob. It's about 10 past 7 in the evening. It's a Sunday evening. It's the 8th of July, 2024. Now, I've just had a shower, so I feel all refreshed. I'm just going to give you a nice little blog before I go home, before I go to bed. Big day tomorrow. Okay, so today's topic is worldview. We're going to talk about a worldview. So what is a worldview? A worldview is basically the set of beliefs that you carry into an argument, right? They're deemed fundamental. They're like pillars of an argument. Okay, you can think of a worldview in the same way you can think of a briefcase. In a briefcase, you contain all kinds of weird and wonderful items, such as a notepad, a diary, a pencil, even a pair of underwear, an apple, whatever, all kinds of items. And each item corresponds to an assumption that you carry into every argument. That's the difference. See, a worldview assumption is assumption which is that you regard as personally true, regardless of the argument. That won't change, all right? It will change. It may change if it's proven to be false, but that's the only time I recommend a change in worldview. Now, a worldview basically consists of three types of beliefs: common sense, fundamental, and acquired. So let's talk about the fundamental beliefs first. Now, if I asked you a silly question, do you love your mother? Obviously, the vast majority of you would say, yes, of course I love my mother. But yet you can't prove that. You can't prove that you love your mother, but you just believe it. See, that belief, that love for your mother, is deep here. It's regarded as fundamental. So can you honestly tell me that the love for your mother is based on a written law, based on some law written by man, written down on a piece of paper? Obviously not. So the love for your mother is an example of a belief that goes well beyond any kind of man-made law or custom. So there are other things like objective morality, such as murder, rape, theft. These things that you can categorically say are wrong. Murder is wrong, rape is wrong. Can you honestly think of the worst type of atrocity, murder or rape? For example, a child was raped by 10 guys. Now, that's wrong, regardless of whether this is written down on a piece of paper or not. It's beyond any kind of law that anyone can create. It's just wrong. It's objectively wrong. Okay, and we know this deep down. So these beliefs are carried into your worldview. You love your mother, you love your family, etc. Love your wife, and you also believe do not murder, do not steal, do not rape. Those type of things that you know. So there's a whole suite of fundamental beliefs that you carry into your worldview, based in your worldview that you carry into an argument. Now, another type of belief is common sense. Obviously, we have our five senses. We have eyesight, we have smell, we have touch, we have taste, and we have hearing. So with respect to, say, a traffic light system, common sense tells us that when the light is red, we stop, and when the light turns green, we go. That's based on common sense. So what's the belief? You believe that not only should you stop at a red light, but you expect others to stop at a red light, right? And you can't prove that what you're saying is red or not, but you anticipate that they have common sense too, like you do. So when it comes to the traffic light system, or basically road rules in general, you expect people to have the sufficient capacity to see. Now, if they didn't have that sufficient capacity, or were colorblind, then common sense doesn't apply to them as far as eye vision is concerned. So it's very simple. And obviously the third type of belief in our worldview is acquired. It's either acquired through logic and reasoning or through faculty of science. For example, let's consider the word nature. What is nature? Well, the word nature, it's like the word life. It has all different types of meanings. But nature in a useful context is simply a reference to an explanation of how something works. It simply refers to the hows, whens and whys of an object or an event. And so when it comes to nature, we use the scientific method to try and process the nature of something. For example, we have a bottle of water here. We can examine the nature of it. It's about 7 or 8 inches tall. It contains water, has a plastic lid, blue plastic lid. So we can use science to investigate the nature of things. And so we use logic and reasoning. We know that 2 + 2 = 4. Why? Because we have faith in the concept of mathematics. So if someone said to you that 2 + 2 = 5, then obviously that would be incorrect. Now I want to talk about a special type of belief, which is a powerful belief that can be added to a worldview at any time. And that's called theism. In an up-and-coming video, I'm going to show you that the belief in theism is perfectly justified. Now, theism is not a worldview. Theism is a belief that's added to a worldview. So theism is a belief that's added to your briefcase of views that you carry into every argument. Now, every worldview has a set of consequences. For example, a theistic worldview entertains the notion of supernaturalism. Well, what is supernaturalism? Well, a supernatural object is one that has a nature for which an explanation of its nature supersedes our scientific capacity by design. So, if you are an atheist and you don't believe in supernaturalism, then you're forever trapped in the cycle of trying to understand absolutely everything via the scientific method. Now, if you're a theist, then you can accommodate the possibility that there's at least some things that cannot be understood scientifically, but maybe they can be embraced personally. Now, I don't really know what they are, but there are many Christians out there that allege the existence of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is just it's something that they refer to as like God in personal form in their lives. Now, I'm not asking you to believe that. I'm not preaching that. I'm not trying to preach the Holy Spirit or Christianity to you. I'm just reflecting what they think, and millions of Christians around the world, well, they talk about this Holy Spirit thing. I wouldn't call it a thing, but you know what I mean. They talk about the Holy Spirit as though it's a person that's close to them, and they see it as being just as real to them as, say, this water bottle I just showed to you. Now, again, I'm not trying to preach to you. You come to your own conclusion whether the Holy Spirit actually exists or not, or whether God exists or not. The purpose of this video is not to debate the existence of God or the Holy Spirit or any type of religious item, but that's what they believe, and that's what millions of Christians around the world believe in this entity that they refer to as the Holy Spirit. Now, if you look at it from a theistic point of view, a theistic worldview says that Holy Spirit, even though you can't understand the Holy Spirit scientifically, when they talk about a relationship with it, a relationship with this entity, a personal relationship. So it would appear, now again, I'm not preaching it to you that it's true or not, it would appear, at least in their eyes, that a certain amount of humility is required to be in a relationship with this entity. Okay, so there are some supernatural items out there you can't understand scientifically, but you can relate to it as it seems. So again, I'll repeat myself one more time. I'm not trying to preach to this Holy Spirit concept. I'm just telling you that's what they believe. All right, and so it could very well be the case that a supernatural object is something that the only way that we can relate to it is via some personal adjustment in our thinking. Again, okay, so the video is almost at the 10-minute mark. There's not really much to say about this worldview issue. So I'll just summarise my position. I'll just basically say what I just said before. I'll summarise it. So a worldview is basically the set of beliefs that you carry into every argument. You assume that these beliefs are true, okay? So they're assumptions. Every belief in a worldview is an assumption. So I assume this, and this as a precursor to a debate. And a worldview is basically really a collection of assumptions. We can think of a worldview as a briefcase, and inside this briefcase is a variety of items, and each item corresponds to an individual assumption. And so every worldview, a worldview can be broken down into three types of beliefs. Fundamental, common sense, and acquired. So fundamental, you love your mother, and you carry that belief into every argument. And so common sense, you can see at a red light that you have to stop. You assume that the guy in front of you and behind you and beside you, they've all got to stop too. That you believe that based on common sense. And obviously the third type of belief is acquired. Beliefs that are acquired via the process of logic and reasoning, logical deduction, and the scientific method. So science gives us the capacity to understand those objects which are fundamentally within our scope to understand. Now, science does not give us the capacity to understand anything at all which is supernatural in its nature. So a supernatural object is an object which has a nature which supersedes our capacity to understand scientifically. Now, you can either accept the existence of supernaturalism or you don't. But if you don't accept the existence of supernaturalism, you are forever trapped in this cycle of trying to explain everything from a scientific standpoint. Now, there are some things that you may require an adjustment in your personality to be in a relationship with. And I gave you the example before about Christians being in a relationship with whom they deem as the Holy Spirit. Now, I just want to repeat one more time, I'm not here to preach the existence of the Holy Spirit. That's just their standpoint. So it's not a Christian video. I'm just speaking to you honestly from a person who just wants to give you my two bob on things. Hence the name of the channel. I just want to give you my two bob. I just want a conversation with you people. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm here to talk. I'm just another voice in the wilderness. I'm just giving you my perspective on this matter. So that's what a worldview is. So everyone has it. There are some people that deny the existence of a worldview, but that's just folly. Okay, everyone has a set of beliefs that pose as an assumption, a set of assumptions that are carried into every argument. Okay, and that's unavoidable. Now, another classic example is the issue between creation and evolution. A creationist, they believe that the universe was created by in whom they deemed as God or intelligent cause. Now, someone who believes in evolution doesn't necessarily believe in the existence of God, but they cite that our existence, the universe exists as a result of these fundamental evolutionary processes. Okay, so, all right, there's not that much more to say. The video's at the 14-minute mark. So it's another was a beautiful day here in Australia. It's Sunday, it's evening now. It's almost, it's 20:07. I get up very early in the morning to go to work. And so this is basically just another weekend, just a pleasant weekend. So things are plodding along quite nicely at the moment. I'm pretty grateful. I have this nice house here that we're renting off our people that we know. I won't give you information about that, but we are kind of in a stable situation at the moment. So again, my name is Craig. The channel name is T Bob, and I'm just giving you my T Bob on the issue of a worldview. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I bid you farewell. Bye bye.